Hi, I'm Emily, and I'm going to be covering the 6 key concepts. Britain it has a monocultural society. This is due to thousands of years of different people moving to our country. For example, Romans, Saxons, Anglos, Viking invading our country. Also the slave trade, or being invited by a government or the monarchy, or refugees moving across the border. Meaning there are very few people with pure British heritage left. Different cultures also help economic migration, such as education, universities, also coming from other countries to pay for healthcare. Globalization makes it a lot easier to travel. This makes as it would be cheaper and quicker. This helps with the swapping of skills and strengths and helps us give us an advantage with problems. With the EU free movement of people, this makes it easier to swap trades as well as skills and cultures. Tony Blair encouraged Britain to be a multicultural society and welcome migrants into the country. Britishness are things associated with Britain that other countries may not have. For example, tea. Our monarchy, complaining about the weather is also very British. Crumpets, Victoria sponge, other delicacies, for example. British symbols I would see as Union Jack, royal family. Am I patriotic? I sort of feel I'm proud of my heritage, though I know that I'm not fully English anyway, but I'm not discriminatory or racist towards people who aren't English. Moving on to the next concept. What does integration mean? The accepting and combining of two or more groups of people, such as religious groups, into the wider community. They are accepted and included into all community activities and provisions. Areas of integration, for example, London. Luton is one of the biggest towns in the UK, integrated towns that is, with a very big community of Muslim people. However, this isn't always the case. For example, Leicester, an area of sunset segregation. This is where people from different cultures work together during the day, but then during the night they go home separately and into separate areas and have nothing to do with each other. There are previous acts of segregations, for example, the apartheid in South Africa. This was overcome by Nelson Mandela, or the Black Rights Movement in America, finished by Martin Luther King, or helped to overcome. Segregation seems to have the right materials to lead to violence, so this may link to terrorism. Modern day problems could be Luton, in London, and the EDL group, which are very pro-English and are very discriminatory and racist towards the Muslim community that live there in Luton. Moving on to my next concept, rights and responsibilities. As a citizen of the UK, you're provided with rights. This includes things like healthcare or education. An individual has legally defined rights if you follow the certain state obligations. These keep the citizens safe and enhance the state through taxes. In return, they get free healthcare, education. Basically, so you have to work and pay your taxes to get these rights. Parliament comes up with the common laws and customs and traditions, which we choose the Parliament, so they have a way of putting across what we want. It is important to obey this, so to keep order and gain the rights that you get for being a UK citizen. For example, there's a school in called Babington near Leicester, where there are many different types of children from different countries, like 35 different countries, children from there. They speak 46 different languages overall. They've discovered that students with a second language outperform the ones who speak one, and they all learn about the different cultures and massively help them. They massively help the other ethnic minorities. Some say, though, that they have forgotten about the British-born. Moving on to the next concept, tolerance and its impact. What does the tolerance mean? This relates to equal opportunities and its willingness of individuals to recognise and respect the beliefs of those from different cultures. In Britain, we allow them to practice their religion daily alongside our primary religions that were here first. We are aware of the way of life they follow, including the way they dress, their religious festivals and holidays, their observances and practices, also their religion buildings and places of worship. Tolerance within a community is very important for keeping peace and avoiding unrest, as this could potentially lead to violence. Examples of previous problems may be found in places within Muslim communities where they shout from the top of the mosques, which a lot of people find disrupting, but it's part of their religion. Katie Hopkins is also known for judging children based on their names, as well as other shocking things she said. I believe she says these things to draw attention to herself and help her make a living. One of her quotes would be, "Palestinians busy knifing Israelis, two-state solution," for example. Moving on to the next concept, multiculturalism. This is where there is an acceptance or existence and or promotion of multicultural traditions within a single area. Britain, I believe, is a multicultural society. There are a variety of cultures and traditions in Britain that are accepted and promoted. For example, the Muslim community in Luton. Moreover, in London, there are more than 500,000 white people left in a year. However, the population of London still managed to grow by over 1 million. The advantages of having a multicultural society, diversity in cultures brings in additional skills and strengths that could potentially help us deal with local and national problems and conflicts. For example, skills such as additional languages, cultural and religious knowledge. Also, sharing religions with different countries could potentially be helpful by bringing the countries perhaps together in times of hardship, perhaps. There are perhaps a few disadvantages. This could cause conflict and social friction between the society due to different beliefs and communities, potentially overcrowding and competition for jobs and preferences over these. For example, Luton again. Next concept. This is quite a small concept. Equal opportunities and its importance. I believe that this is equal opportunities are important for society as well as in the public services due to the variety of ethnic backgrounds in the UK. So these should represent our society, so there should be more than one. There should be a representative amount of each ethnic background depending on their society. Okay. Positive action. This is encouraging people to apply for jobs that they may not necessarily have applied for before. This may be giving those who may not have had a chance a choice to have a job interview or a training course that they may not have previously had access to. Okay. The next concept is corporate responsibility and the future. Having responsibility, a corporate social responsibility. This is having a responsibility to ensure that their actions have a positive impact on society and the things they do and say and promised must be for the better good of society, such as behaving in an ethical manner, causing no intention to harm, keeping their workforce happy and healthy, protect and keep the community happy and improve links. For example, there was a community meeting when Mark Duggan was shot. This was supposed to improve the trust within the service and answer questions. However, this did cause more civil unrest. Examples of corporate social responsibility: friendly fire, for example, those in Afghanistan, soldiers fighting. Most Allied forces were killed by American or other allies instead of our enemy. Conclusion: I feel that the 6 key concepts are very relevant within the UK for many different reasons. For example, keeping the peace. I feel the most important one is the multicultural society, because I feel like this has the key to everything. Thank you.